Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Today we're playing hsLr54's Mage. I call it the Greedy Mage because it's very greedy. Yes, this is a wild mode deck, and on initial impressions it looks like a normal Reno Jackson deck. You look at the early game and you think Mistress of Mixtures, Flame Cannon, Frostbolt, Glyph, Pyros, Deathlord. Yeah, looks like a normal Reno Mage. But then you look a bit further, and you'll notice the greed starts to accelerate the further into the deck you go. Servant of Kalimos, but then you say, hey, where are my elementals? Oh, they exist. Pyros is in this deck, he's an elemental. Shimmering Tempest is an elemental. Water Ellie, yeah, elemental. Okay, so there are some elementals in the deck. Let's dig a bit further. Skulking Geist, yep, for all of those Jade Druids, which are everywhere on the ladder right now. Baron Geddon in this deck too. Good synergy with Frostlich Jaina. Rag the Firelord, yes, also an elemental, so yeah, that's good for Servant of Kalimos. Sindragosa, yep, summoning those 0/1s that when they die, they give you legendaries. That's pretty insane. The Lich King, for a little bit more greed, then Enzoth the Corruptor to round things off. Yeah, Enzoth, with the Boombots from Dr. Boom, plus the 0/1s from Sindragosa. Does that leave enough room for Belcher and for Sylvanas to come back? Especially if you've played Mistress of Mixtures and the Shimmering Tempest and the Deathlord. Managing death rattles in this deck feels a little bit tricky, and previously I wouldn't play Dr. Seven or Dr. Boom in a deck with Enzoth because I didn't want to get the Boombots back to life. I valued getting some of the other Death Rattle minions back first. So, yeah, I'm not sure about Dr. Boom. I'm not even sure about Sindragosa. But, yeah, one thing we can agree on in this deck is that it is very, very greedy. And actually, in a few of the games that I've played with it, on casual, it was the greed factor that won me the mirror match against other mages who were playing the Mage Death Knight, because I had Sindragosa, because I had Rag Firelord, because I had Baron Geddon in the deck. The greedy picks, the expensive high cost legendaries were what won me the game in the end. So worth considering. But in this video we're going to look at a game on the wild mode ladder, and we're just going to see how this deck fares. So we're going up against a mage.
Let the games begin.
Skulking Geist is not great here. It's good against Druid, and that's the reason we have Skulking Geist in the deck, taking against Jade Druid. And Jade Druids, you know, there are a lot of them on the wild mode and the standard mode ladders, so I think it's a worthy inclusion. It's also good against Secrets Paladin, and you still see Secrets Paladin on wild mode. But against the Mage, yeah, mages play one-cost spells sometimes, but yeah, Skulking Geist is not game-breaking here for us. It's just going to be a body. Now I'm going to take Frozen Clone. Here's the reason why. When you play a secret, often your opponent will test for Mirror Entity, and they'll give you something cheap. The thing is, though, if that cheap, low health, low attack minion has some other value attached to it, having 2 copies in your hand is a good thing. So now he's played a secret. I'll test for Counterspell. It's not Counterspell. I'll now test for Mirror. It's not Mirror Entity. So that's fine. The expectation now is that he will ping just to remove a body from the board, and that's what he does. He's also testing for what? Duplicate, and it's not. Okay, so we have 2 secrets in play now. And that play is really interesting. A fireball into the Death Knight. That's interesting.
This jungle
He's clearly setting up for something. Maybe a volcanic potion? Or a ping over 2 turns? Or a frostbolt? Yeah, and there it is. He's giving me something cheap, hoping it was Mirror Entity. It's not, it's Frozen Clone. And do you know what? I'm really thrilled. I'm really happy to have 2 babbling books in my hand. Because the utility... Oh my god! That's a Malygos. Well, that's awkward. If I didn't have Meteor, I think I'd be dead. Effigy. Oh, thank God. He gets the effigy on the rubbish minion. That's brilliant. This is a Malygos Mage. Welcome to Wild Mode. Yeah, only in Wild Mode do you see decks like this. And this is what makes Wild Mode so fun to play, so fascinating. And now my greedy cards are coming into play, potentially. Now, I think most people would have frostbolted and pinged the Azure-Drake. I could care less. I just want to get Dr. 7 out. I mean, there is that old saying, when Dr. Boom is green, play Dr. Boom. But there's the second fireball. Okay, he was able to kill Dr. Boom cleanly, but that's 2 fireballs gone. And his Azure-Drake is in a very unfortunate position now. It's at 1 health. And I'm so desperate to play Sindragosa. If this Boombot connects with the Drake... No, it doesn't. Damn. 1 damage on the wrong thing. Of course. So that's Secret, giving me those 2 babbling books. That's worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, we are delayed now when it comes to playing Sindragosa, but that's fine. Wow, he even plays Barnes. I guess... Oh, wow. I guess Barnes into Malygos late in the game is pretty good. So I can understand the inclusion. There's a Sylvanas though, so presumably Enzoth is also in this deck. So what is he playing? Is this some kind of a Malygos spell mage with death rattles and Enzoth the Corruptor? As I say, only in Wild Mode. Wow. We can clear the board here and give him nothing. He may have been anticipating stealing my 2-1 there because he froze it, but Volcanic Potion there, helping out massively. And we play our own Sylvanas now, and no time for games, absolutely. Oh, Flame Waker. Okay. So there is a Tempo Mage element in this. Huh! Faceless Manipulator. Fascinating. Okay. We need to kill that board. But both of those minions are dangerous in so many ways, and we can't leave them there. There is perhaps an argument for waiting for another turn to get more value on the Flame Strike. But by playing the Flame Strike, he's now felt safe bringing out the Emperor. And with him bringing out the Emperor, oh, Firelands Portal just does the job. Ha! Floating Watcher. Wow, we're a Warlock now. Now this is insane. We can just ping ourselves every single turn. The Watcher is going to grow. He needs to deal with it. We've seen both fireballs used.
We have many secrets.
Okay, so this is a Malygos Mage with Flame Waker and Secret Synergy with Death Rattle minions. That's quite the mouthful. We're going to test for mirror here. So we'll play Kazakus. I'm going to take the damage, just in case. It's good insurance. And armour is also very important here against a mage. You don't know what else he's running in terms of burst capability. It's not mirror. It's not counterspell. Okay, and it's not vaporize. So, the Floating Watcher is just growing here. It's just growing. And the investment there is massive. He's invested a Flame Strike and a Torch just to kill that. I'm okay with that.
The icy winds of Northland will consume your souls.
Sindragosa. That's the first time I'm playing this card in a ladder environment. And, yeah, pinging the 0-1 to get the legendary, I think was worth it. And there's Ronin. So I can understand a bit better now how his deck works. He will get his Ronin killed off, he'll play Malygos and go mental with the cheap arcane missiles.
Do not fear power.
And seeing that now scares me a little bit, because I know that those missiles are going to be doing some damage, and so I want to get my elemental healing on board now as quickly as possible. I'm also scared of Antonidas with the missiles. That's another big problem. So as I say, the quicker we can get our healing on board, the better it is. So he wants to deny me my healing. No healing for me. Okay. And he's even pinging to give me Deathwing. Okay. Right, so what do we do here? We have Baron-Geddon. We have a Firelands Portal option. Knuckles? I think I want to save Firelands Portal for something big. So I'm just going to Belcher, and we're just going to use a spell to kill it. I mean, the spell damage matches the health. It works out. But maybe I should have played the Courier first. So this is a bit of a misplay on my part. Not that it would have changed anything there. Flame Strike is sort of insurance for us, just in case there's more minion presence on the board. But I have a feeling that for the remainder of this game, it's going to be more spells rather than minions. But that is unfortunate for us. In terms of getting our health down, that could be a problem. Bone Baron. Well, that's not too bad. When it dies, we get some skeletons. And then we can ping our own skeletons and summon water elementals. That's actually pretty good. There's another Flame Waker. And he's just going all in now with the missiles. He's hoping he can kill me with the juggles from the Flame Waker, the fireworks. And historically, Tempo Mage would often win games like this. But hello to ends off. And that is quite the board. How do you get through that? He wants to mill me. Baron Rivendare. Well, I believe this is pretty much over now. We can just pop the block casually here. And he's out of damage.
Witness me!
Okay. Bit disappointed that I couldn't play my Deathwing. That just would have been hilarious. But yeah, we've exhausted him of burn. We've exhausted him of all of his damage options pretty much. And yeah, it feels good. So that was an example of a game where the greed factor kind of worked out for us. I mean, the key card that we played that was greedy in that matchup was Sindragosa. And, you know, it gave us some options. Those legendaries that go into your hand, even if they're average, there's still bodies that you can play, and they're going to be better than your average cards. So Sindragosa, whilst a slow card, and whilst incredibly greedy, it can work out. So yeah, this is a fun deck, but I am scared to play it consistently on the ladder. I've only played one game, and that was the game that you saw. I've played it on casual a fair bit and won a lot of games on casual, but I'm scared to play on the ladder because of the greed factor. I'm afraid of being punished for how greedy this deck is. I mean, it doesn't even play lots of elementals, and yet it still has Servant of Kalimos. That's how greedy this deck is, but it's still incredibly fun to play, and I think it's relatively well designed. Are there any changes that I would make just looking through it? I'd question Kalimos, I really would. But apart from that, I do kind of like the greed factor. You know, I like Ragnaros the Firelord in this deck. I think that's brilliant. And of course, Frostlich Jaina is phenomenal too. So would I take this deck past rank 10? Probably not. I'll probably play a more conservative version of Reno Mage, a less greedy version. And you know, yeah, Reno Jackson is in this deck. We've not even discussed Reno because we haven't needed Reno. The greed factor alone helps you win games. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Hearthstone fun.